let's test this particular action and see what we've got for a trigger and what we have to do. First of all, let's test for positive. And I'm pretty good at it because I've tested so often. So I'm going to just put my hand here, my finger here, and pull the trigger very precisely and see if I can feel any movement. I've already checked this because I cheated because I've already checked this, and I don't see any movement. And I'll see if I can feel any, but I don't think there's going to be any. If you can't tell, and it'll come to you in time anyway, but if you can't tell, you can put a dial indicator with a magnetic base on the action and let the plunger rest right there or somewhere near it, someplace that you can read its movement, and see if it moves when you pull the trigger. If it's positive by a thousandth or so, metal off. Now, a point to remember, if you take any appreciable amount of metal off here, you're going to affect the position of the striker, aren't you? Because that's what holds it back. And if the striker moves forward, the safety may go on so hard you can't get it on, and you may have to readjust the safety. So first of all, we're going to stone that. Now, make sure it works. We lay it down and hit it. It didn't jar off. If it jars off, you have to do something about it. That means that probably your angles are negative, or there's enough play in the system that it can allow it to move back and get out of the way. If it jars off when you do that, that means that you have to see the sear rise. That means that we have lifted the cocking piece back and the sear followed it and it came free of the trigger. I pull the trigger, nothing happens now. Take it off safe. The sear comes back down in contact with the trigger, and the trigger is now holding it, not the safety. I pull the trigger, it falls. So now I have adjusted the amount of creep, I've adjusted the weight, I've adjusted the backlash, and then I had to readjust the safety, and also I've made the cocking piece fall just a trifle faster, so the lock time is probably a trigger, and the work you do on it is relatively easy to do, as you see, and we've done a nice trigger job on this without working up a sweat. Now take your gun down and try the same thing. Just remember, go slow. It's best to take off a little metal 3 or 4 times than too much once, so just go slow.